Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the show, baby. Yeah, it's about to get real soulful in it today. All right, listen, I'm gonna tone it down a little bit because it's a sexy show. I'm gonna take my shirt off at some point during the show because I'm feeling that sexy right now because of what we covering. We've been hitting football a lot. Walt ain't wash dishes, so he got to make sure that the wife doing it. He probably gonna get yelled at as soon as he gets his headphones back on. But you are on with the good guys. And like I said, we cover everything, pop culture and sports. And tonight is all about pop culture and already the album of the year. Now, I might argue Adele a little bit later, but the album of the year is what we're talking about tonight. We own it with the soulful, the mahogany voice, the Pied Piper of R&B himself. I could take that title because the other guy can't use it no more. I am C. Turner. And my backup singers for the day, I'm David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations.
You gonna do it like that?
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
James, big game, soulful voice, ones and twos on the beatbox and on the drums. Madison Walton the third. What's going on, baby?
Hey, what's good, America? Well, I mean, shoot, if he's gonna go ahead and be David Ruffin, I ain't gonna even let Baze get anybody. I'm gonna go ahead and take Eddie Kendricks right now. Baze, you're gonna have to take what's left. I got Eddie Kendricks because Eddie Kendricks got some of the smoothest samples in the game. You know what I'm saying? Smoothest. You know what I'm saying? Keep on trucking, Eddie Kendricks. But America, I mean, anybody that knows me, you know what I'm saying, is well aware of my love of these topics we're talking. And I mean, it was definitely one where, you know, we haven't really had a talk like this. Usually we bring Baze on, we're talking about NCAA violations and Power 5 conferences, you know what I'm saying? So we don't get to have my guy here. So, I mean, when you're talking about the sounds and the soul of Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the greatest, parts of all of music. I mean, our era.
Facts.
Boys to Men, ABC, BBD, the East Coast span. You got to bring on the one, the only, one of the maestros of music himself, Mr. Mike Bazemore. Welcome to this exciting podcast we doing tonight, man. How you feeling, guy?
Feeling good, feeling great.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome y'all to an evening with What's Good America. Folks, we are here to talk about the Silk Sonic album. Arguably the album of the year, but my biggest problem, which I feel like the biggest problem of most Americans when it comes to anything, it wasn't enough.
Oh, that was my. They just gave us a little tease, man.
It wasn't enough. Like you gave me 9, 10 bangers. I need 14 to 16 of them. Like I need a full hour and a half, 2 hours of content so I could just let it roll I need more. And I get it. When you're trying to sell something, you want to create that demand. You want the people to keep coming back. But damn it, 9, 10 records, it's not enough. It ain't enough, man.
Not enough. Have they done a interview to talk about why it wasn't longer than nine tracks, or?
I haven't seen it. I'll say that much. Because I know for a fact. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I just wanted you guys to notice that, if we're going to talk R&B, we got to get to our name. So I wanted to take a look at your boxes real quick.
Oh, hold on there.
Let the world know. Uh-oh, go ahead, get them pudding. Go ahead, get them pudding. There we go. Yeah, oh, let's go. They got that drip on them. Yeah.
Can't take him nowhere.
Pudding him in.
And R&B sensation Darrell Huntington. You know what I'm saying? We out here. So I mean, this is what I want to do. I mean, this is what type of conversation it is. You know, I'm bringing back an oldie but a goodie.
Oh, you sexy tonight.
That's how we.
sexy
Got Ice Cube and chilling.
You sexy tonight. I see that.
This is a different conversation. Like, I have a different level of just what I want to cover. So, I mean, as we're talking about it, I mean, obviously, Puddin', I mean, that's your first thing is you just didn't get enough.
No. Not enough at all, dude. Like, it's 9 or 10. Don't get me wrong. All 9 to 10 of them are hidden. Like, I love all of them. I need more, though. Like, I need more, bro. Like, I could have used a double album, honestly. Like, that throwback 70s Bootsy Collins, Parliament Funk, pop R&B kind of mashup is what you didn't know that you needed. And we needed it.
Smooth, I'm gonna kick it to you, Smoother. Like, I mean, just whether you're adding on to that, your feels when you was listening to that 9, maybe kept it on repeat. Because I mean, America, this conversation came from these guys started it, talking about it. We were just in a chat talking about something else, and somebody was like, "Hey, was that Silk Sonic?" I couldn't remember if it was Smoother or if it was Puddin'. But I mean, what were your feels, man, after putting that thing on rotation while he was working and everything like that?
Well, you got to get back to the original, whatever the tweet was, or they just dropped their first single, "Leave the Door Open." And number one, Anderson .Paak, he's a beast with it. Bruno Mars, beast with it. And so you're like, oh, they combined, and you're like, oh, this may be something real. Then they came with the "Leave the Door Open." I'm like, it's gonna be some heat. So I definitely was gonna. I was anticipating the album like a lot of people, but yeah, just the nine tracks. I was like, I needed more, man. You got to give me more than that because you don't have a skip in the entire list. You play it right through. It's like, man, you get through. It's like 30 minutes. You just
exactly.
You put it right on repeat.
All right, so I've got a couple of theories to what you guys said about that, and when it was 9 tracks. I think the first thing you guys both said here at the opening show, I think there is a part 2 plan. It's very reminiscent of when Timberlake dropped 2020 Experience. The first one only had like 12 cuts on it. And they had worked on, that's a Timberlake. Timberlake making 40 songs for an album. Yeah. So I could see them probably, let's end the year. Let's go ahead and get these Grammys, get this done, take a shot at album of the year. And they might have a part 2 coming maybe beginning of the year or later on to do that, you know what I'm saying? In that sense. So somebody's got to play devil's advocate on this. And it's going to be me. And this is the reason why I wanted to have this conversation. It is not so much a disrespect to the album, because I have to tell you, honestly, it was very good. I enjoyed it because I'm a big fan of Bruno Mars. And I have stated on this show what Anderson .Paak means to music. Anderson .Paak is, without a doubt, the most underrated R&B singer in the last 10 years. Because Anderson .Paak has never made a bad album.
No.
Here's my issue with this album. And you guys are not the only ones that have fallen in love with it. America's fallen in love with it as should, because these are talented men that deserve everything that's coming. You know what my issue with this whole album is, and the reaction to it is? Music has been so bad that this comes off so great.
True.
That is my issue with this. This is not the first album that sounds like this. I have, watch this college word, even though I didn't graduate. So I have a cornucopia of R&B albums.
I thought you was going to say a plethora.
A plethora. I should have went plethora. I should shout out T-Pain when he was rapping on Wild Out and used plethora for like pleather on a couch. I have so many albums on here right now and songs that have even more soul than that. And that's not to take away from the soul of it. That's my issue with it. And I love, like you talking about a guy who loves Mars. Because when he did he knew what he was. When he dropped that 24 Karat Magic, I give Bruno Mars credit. You know what he said? You know what? I'm typing and getting back into the essence of this. Some chords, some bass, You know, the drum programming of a Teddy Riley back in the day, even though those drums were electronic, but that programming was so tight. So when you would hear grooving, baby, you know what I'm saying? Quincy Jones was like that. He would mix in the live drums and you know what I'm saying, but it would still be drum programming. I mean, those are the sounds we grew up on. So I mean, that's the first thing I'm throwing at you guys. I think your ears, which are very much qualified to talk about soul, because we've been around each other 12 years. I know what type of music you guys like beyond this, but I think we've been so saturated with trash that this comes off and you're just like, it's a breath of fresh air. And it's like, yo, there's people not on the independent circuit. You have no idea. I could go down a list. I'm gonna kick it over to y'all. That's why I got the wine, because I have to drink anyways. I'm happy for these guys, but I'm pissed off at America either way.
So I agree with you, but are you saying that the album is magnified that much more because there's trash, or it just seems like it's magnified more? Like this is where I'm lost at. So are you saying it's just a good album, but because it's a bunch of trash around it, it seems better? Or are you just saying that, all right, it's really a great album, but like there's so much that could be better? Like that's where I'm lost at.
Name the last R&B male album you played from beginning to end and loved it.
T-Pain.
Which T-Pain? Like Epiphany?
Epiphany.
Yeah.
Epiphany T-Pain.
Probably the first one. No, there's got to be something after that, man.
Well, that's Chris. That's Chris saying.
This is me. For me. The last R&B album that I could really that comes to my mind. I can't mention certain people whose album that I can still rock with to today. But I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, the truth is the truth. Like, I already know where you're going with it. Like,
so no, John Legend's first one. Get Lifted. Like, Get Lifted, I can rock from beginning to end and let it keep going.
And now, do you realize I'm gonna help you with your chronological order? Get Lifted is even older than Epiphany.
So yeah, it goes John Legend and then T-Pain. So like
we were in college when Get Lifted came out. That's his first album.
Fuck, that
he and Kanye were still.
Yeah. When did Epiphany come out? Like 07. Well, Turnt was like 07, 06, 07. Epiphany was like 07, 08. You know how I know? Because I was in Bloomington. That's how I know. So I was in Bloomington 07, 08.
With or without me.
Mm-hmm. You know, 6-pack, 4-pack, you already know that I'm in love with yours.
So that's my shit.
That had Bartender on it, you know, all them songs, you know, Buy Your Drink, all that was on. All that album. That album was incredible.
Yeah. Well, you gotta think. The time we got out of college is when all R&B singers wanted to then become rappers, because Chris Brown essentially turned into a rapper. I never really rocked with Jeremiah like that. Like, all the R&B singers tried to turn into rappers. So like R&B kind of lost itself. And honestly, you can't really put this Silk Sonic album in the box of just R&B, because it's not. So like, as far as R&B goes, like classic, like real life R&B, there hasn't been a straight ballad R&B for quite some time. Not a good one anyway, because all I'm turning to rappers.
I love that in you. So we've said it for Pudding. He's talking John Lifted for him and T-Pain's era, where T-Pain basically went R&B. So we talking 2004 to 2008, 9.
Yeah,
it's the round we're talking. That's the last time Chris Turner had a pure R&B neo-soulish album that he could listen to from beginning to end. What about you, Smoother? I mean, what just comes to your mind? Just other ones that kind of where you just had, man, I just got
from beginning to end, no skips.
Yeah.
And I'm looking through my list right now. I'm looking at Anderson .Paak albums, all great albums, but I do got skips in some of these albums though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Aloe Black. That may be Aloe Black. Lift Your Spirit. That was 2013.
2013.
I'm thinking that's the
At least he's closer than I am. He's closer than me.
Yeah, I said Aloe Aloe Blacks. Lift Your Spirit is one where I don't skip songs.
Mm-hmm.
Can I throw Kim in there as well though?
I mean, it's so funny.
Who's that?
I want to shout my cousins out real quick. I'm glad you
Sure.
threw in Kim. So my cousin Jordan, shout out to my little cousin Jordan Dukes. I have to tag him in this at some point. I got to remember how to tag people and stuff. But he actually posted one. He has some of the best statuses I've ever seen. Like he's got a third eye that I love about my baby cousin. And he literally said so nobody listens to Kim anymore. I swear to you, like a week ago.
It's Kim's legit, dude. Like he's legit.
And then Chris, you've met some of the, you ain't met all the families. Y'all ain't met all the Walton, but you know the Walton side in Chicago. I mean,
yeah.
So my cousin Raisine goes in. She's like, hey, listen, Kim was cool, but he tried to steal Al Jarreau style. So you don't mess with Al Jarreau in this family because my Joni, and Al Jarreau go way back. So I thought it was hilarious. Like you mentioned Kim, I was like, that's the second time I've heard Kim in a week. And Kim was dope.
He was.
Kim had some joy. So Baze is on 2013. Aloe Black.
Let me mention one more though. Let me mention one more because my kid just came in because she caught me in one. So the Chloe Holly album is a banger itself. Like it's one of those you don't like. There's like a couple songs in there I identify with way too much. But from beginning to end, I don't think honestly, I'll be real with you. Anytime I get on the flight, that's the first album I put on. And I just let it run.
So that's the beauty of that. Because I actually disqualified, just for this conversation, the female R&B singers because
Makes sense.
Purpose.
Makes sense.
That's why I'm not even going to talk about Gabby Wilson. We know what her, and I've said it on this show, what her is I think
sense.
The biggest reason that music has started to trend back to everybody going and grabbing an Ariana Grande for a hook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And getting some of these singers, because they're like, man, we are losing our soul a little bit. Because when you hear an album like a Drake, Champagne Poetry, I think even in himself, he's like, you know what? Even I've been forgetting, what made me Drake. I need to put together a great album. You know what I'm saying? And I think Drake's been consistent. That's a different conversation. So I love that you guys bring that up. So let me, in my infinite, just y'all played ball with me. Y'all know James is off the wall.
Please.
You just never know what's coming out of them headphones. But I can name you a bunch of artists you've never heard of. If you went and you listened to these albums, you'd be like, man, I'm sleeping. First and foremost, within those eras of 2013, go listen to the Robert Glasper Black Radio 1 and 2. Robert Glasper and himself has slowly been saving music in hip hop and R&B. Some of the best tracks you've ever heard. And he's got guys, I even told Chris this we were doing the show. He's got Denzel Curry flowing on a track, and it's him playing keyboards, live drums, and bass. And Denzel Curry ain't never sound like he had flow in it. And he goes around 2-minute sample, and they go do that everywhere with Robert Glasper. But I'm talking Robert Glasper had Michelle Ingiello, I can't even say her name right, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott. I'm going to name all the artists. Layla Hathaway, Ladisi, Music Soul Child, Mos Def, Lupe Fiasco, Bilal, Brandy, Dwele, Eric Roberson.
Forgot about Dwele.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. It's like that. Those are albums that came out. We were all living together, and that's what I was bumping in my car and in my ears in the Silver Circle. That's 12 and 13, right? I'm gonna take you beyond that. There's a cat right now out of Orlando, Florida, named Devin Morrison, who is the smoothest dude in all R&B, and because he's so under the ground and he can't get to that level because everything's so garbage. Go listen. Go listen to Devin Morrison's album.
I have.
On Spotify. He's got a full album. That thing, you can hear that and you can go, God, I hate when Wayne's right. All I'm saying is you have that. Music Soul Child dropped a 24-song album.
It's too long. I'm not listening to 24.
All I'm saying is, I'm not saying.
And look, and that's Philly.
Skips.
Philly all day, but I'm not listening to 24 tracks.
But it was the fact that he's still making great music. It still has the same can still make you feel the same way. You know, the first time you realized you was in college and you had first time half crazy ever happened to you in your life. You remember the first time it happened to you in college?
Hey, hold on.
That song saved my life.
Speak to your soul, don't it?
Hey man, you wasn't lying. I'm gonna have crazy.
Hey,
you know, that song saved.
I'm not gonna sit here in front. I ain't gonna say the girl name, but it was in high school. Boy, hey, hey, when love dropped, and like me and this girl,
boy. Yeah,
me and this girl had like we broke up or whatever, went our separate ways. I can't tell you, I sat in my room for like a week straight, and I just had love on repeat, just like over and over and over again. Like it was ridiculous. I think we lost Bays on Anchor.
Yeah.
But
we'll get you back. We'll get you back in, Bays. Yeah, keep going, Chris. Try to get back in.
I had love on repeat, dude. Like to the point where like my mom was like, "Hey, bro, you all right now? Like you we need to take you to go see somebody. I'm hurt. Like I done lost the love of my life. I'm hurt. Come on."
You know what I mean? And
God.
And that's what I'm saying. There's been plenty of guys that have still been, you know, doing that and making that type of beautiful music, man. And it's been there. So it's just like reiterates my point of like, God, it has been such, to me, such trash that has been happening. You know what I'm saying? That something like this comes out and it's such a breath of fresh air. And
there we go.
We got Baconator back obviously y'all see him on video. He didn't leave, but he's still here. But that's the truth. Like Anderson .Paak's album that came out with the Come Home, that thing's a banger. And it just kind of snuck by everybody. He got a Grammy for the song with Andre 3000 and Smoke, you know, the Smokey, everybody liked the Smokey Robinson joint. But that album is an R&B banger, dude. You know what I'm saying?
What song was that Oxnard or
Oxnard was the. This was
or Ventura.
This one is no, because Oxnard was the one that came before that. Because that's the one that's got what is it called? It might be Ventura.
Well,
that's his newest joint that he had.
The first album that I heard him was
Malibu. That's the one that's got. Malibu was, because Malibu had the M.I., you know, the song, we got to get, I don't know what's going on, Bays over here hitting buttons, but no, I remember Malibu had the joint, the Am I Wrong with Schoolboy Q. I feel like I'm going to repeat this for Bays, because I know he's looking at Paak stuff for us, but I know that had Am I Wrong, that had Parking Lot, Room in Here, you know, Birds, you know, great album though, right?
Right.
And then Oxnard is the one that had like Sweet Chick, with BJ, the Chicago Kid, that had Snoop. I mean, he had a lot of like that song's got a lot of, you know, Trippy with J. Cole. You know, it's a great album. And then I think Ventura was the last one he just did.
Bro, I ain't even gonna sit here in front. I'm back in my room at 17 years old, thinking about this damn Music Soul Child song right now in my head. How I was sick. I can't, sick. My mind's going crazy because I can't hurt.
No reason,
bro.
Jesus
I'm telling you, dude, that song stayed on repeat. I swear to you. There's just times where I'm glad I didn't meet my wife. She'd be like, man, you're such a bitch.
All right, hey, everybody who's checking us out on Anchor real quick, hey, no big deal. We have technical difficulties. We're going to end this one, but we still got it going on the podcast and simulcast, baby. So everybody who's checking us out on Anchor, make sure you keep watching the video, but we're going to cut it short. We're going straight to the screen on this one. So it's always what's good America, folks. All right, so let's just run it from here. I'm not tripping.
Yeah. I know we ain't done talking. But Yeah, man. So you missed Bates. Chris was I
Hey,
didn't realize
bro, I'm like I said, I'm not gonna say the girl name, but
he's in his feelings, but I didn't realize I was gonna do this to him.
because like I'm not, hey, like I said, I'm not gonna say the girl name, but that music Soul Child, not to get too far off a point, I was hurt. Like, mind you, me and the girl broke up. It was my fault. I mean, I had just got that 5th star, so you couldn't tell me nothing. But hey, we broke up, and like I just remember, like, man, this shit hurt for real. Like, that's like my first like real relationship, and like this shit hurt. Hey, man.
So let me piggyback to this. You know,
Hold on. Let me ask you this. How many this week were they said 24 is too many? What's the sweet spot for R&B album? Like
15.
song wise?
15.
15? What you say, baby?
Like 13, 14.
Yeah, it's in there. Chris,
I'm at 16.
16 of them?
I can do 16.
Who's echoing? That got to be you, Chris.
Is it?
Everybody else anchor off.
Like the what you call it is off, so I don't.
Yeah, how are we echoing? I don't like that.
I don't know.
Anyway, point is, I think the transition to all this is this album a sign of like, can we start trending towards these things? I mean, we talking about Bruno Mars, who matters in music, right?
Right.
Like he's that deal. Is this a sign that an album like this coming out in 2021, when you've had some of the better, you know, in my opinion, rap albums come out when you're talking about, you know, Certified Lover Boy, Nas's King Disease 2.
King Disease, yeah.
You know, obviously Donda's in a category in all itself. Like it just is. I think it's a great album. I think it's very experimental. I like it. I know we had the conversation. I think Certified Lover Boy is a better album. Period.
I don't like that one either.
You tripping. You need to go listen to that again.
I don't like none of them. J. Cole's album was fire though.
I agree.
And I need to get on that second Cole. So I mean, like, I've seen, but what I'm saying is I've seen the needle kind of come back. Like Drake is starting to come back to doing things. To me, that album, Certified Lover Boy, sounded very take care-ish. It sounded like a grown-up take care to me.
Yeah.
As in it had that type of feel. I mean, Hit Boy just basically said, like, listen, my production is top notch.
He took over music this year. Well, as far as rap.
His production is right there with Ninth Wonder, premier type in my head, like some of those songs. And I mean, the fact that you have a track with Nas and Lauryn Hill just spitting crazy puts you in a different stratosphere of producer that I know how much she loves Nas, but she thought that much of your production to come out of hibernation and rap on it. Like, that's saying something. Lauryn, I mean, or maybe she just knew like, yep, I'm getting ready to go make this Fuji money real quick.
Yeah.
Like they're making right now, because they over there on tour trying to get along with each other, get this quick 50 mil and everybody go their separate ways, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, do we see it trending? I mean, it's not so much the women I worry about. Like, are we going to start seeing these guys come back? Can Chris Brown come back to a tweener sound where it's still got the hard record?
No.
You know, he's doing things.
But Walt, you're missing one key element. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak are musicians. They play instruments. A lot of these other dudes, they just singers. They're not musicians. There's a difference. There's levels. I don't think it's coming back unless you have another musician, someone that can go in and know how the drums is hitting, know how the chords is hitting. The different string is different. It's a different air.
So what you're saying is that I have a chance as a producer to come in here and do some dope stuff for these R&B. I'm just playing America. My Fruity Loops, I ain't good. I got the concepts, America. I just can't, I can't configure the thingamabobber yet. You know, I got some work to do. You know what I'm saying, before I build the studio. So I mean, and then I think the next pivot for the next question is, man, is like, are we as a culture responsible for the destruction of that genre? Is it our fault that a Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak hits everybody in something different? Is it our fault when we hear some of these verses, you know, when you heard the Isley Brothers, you know, and it's like, oh man, that was amazing. And it's like, yo, there's still people making that kind of music. We not buying it. We not spinning that. We not fighting for that to be on the radio. Is that our fault as a culture?
Yeah. Dude, if you can't jump on TikTok or Instagram and make 15 seconds popular, then it's not going to break. Like, Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic album is a great album, but because it popped on TikTok, Instagram for like them 15, 20 seconds of somebody doing a reel, then it was like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's decent. And then like you see different reels and different stories and different videos. If you don't have a song right now, and that's just, so yeah, we're responsible. If you don't have a song right now that has 15 seconds of something catchy, it's a wrap. Because right now on Instagram right now, like the part of the song that goes, "This bitch got me paying," like that's what's popular on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram right now. So if it's not popular for 15 seconds for somebody to do a dance, tell a quick story, or do something funny, there's no point. It's not coming back unless you can do it on that route.
Hey, Baze, you know he sent me that video on Instagram, by the way.
Yeah, I did.
So he is
legitimately about the part of the song.
Yeah, he is, and I respect that he's the first guy that went, yeah, it's our fault. Because he's the one sending me them videos.
Dude, it is. If your attention span can, like, and it's the fault of the culture, whatever it is. But if you can't encompass the audience for 15 seconds, your album's not going to pop.
So I mean, it is. What do we do? How do we?
You gotta well, before it even got to the TikTok, mumble rap. And not being able to enunciate what you're saying. Like, we grew up on eras where you can actually hear and listen to the lyrics, understand what they were saying. These artists sometimes is like, what are they? I can't even understand what they're saying. So
well, you do see that trend is slow.
It's not going to catch my ear.
It's dying, as predicted by yours truly. I was like, man, this is it's leaving, and I think that's where I think you have to give, as much as you're shaking your head about that album, I give Drake credit for that. Because with him kind of basically being the quote unquote spoken king right now of the genre, he is. Because he's been on everybody's record. So when you have him kind of doing these certain things, he's kind of getting back more to what he did before these, you know, choppy years probably between when he did what was the album that I still haven't listened to? The one he did where it shows the like the Toronto, what was that one?
We talking about
2016, his Drake album. That was like, it had one dance on it, it had all the dance grooves, all the, I can't think of what the album was. Views. The Views album. Views.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
So in between Views and like this, he started basically blessing people by going and doing features for them. So it made them feel like they were doing hot shit. And the culture said, hey, it's hot shit because I got the hottest dude doing a feature on my thing. So now I went and listened to that album. I see guys that literally like that are mumble rappers that are features on his, and they actually had to enunciate their words. I was actually
you have to spit. You got to step your shit up.
Because Drake's flow was, hey, I'm back to, you know, doing what got me in this business in the first place. Drake was a lyricist, quiet as kept. Drake was and still is a lyricist. You may not agree with what he says or what he talks about, but lyrically, he's extremely sound. And you can't front on him because he comes from a mixtape, you know, he's a mixtape guy. and the mixtapes that we grew up on and loving, you know, with Lil Wayne and the Droughts and the Fabulous, you know, and all these guys. 50 still dropping mixtapes. Eminem dropping mixtapes here and there when he was just trying to make sure his stuff was there. Joey Ortiz, Royce the Five, all these guys, you know, they're phenomenal.
Let me take y'all back for a second. Do you know why this album honestly hits? Because don't get me wrong, like the kids listen to it too, like that. God, we're getting old, but like that 26 and under crowd listen to it too. The main reason this album hits right now for us, one, it sounds like real music. Two, and more importantly, too, let me take y'all back. We all in that late 30s range. Let me take y'all back 30 years. It's a Saturday morning. It's early. Your mama ain't got to work. Pop's knocked out. And you hear that Parliament come on in the front room. Ain't nobody TV on. But you hear that old school Isley Brothers come on. You hear that Al Green come on. You knew you better get your ass up and clean something.
Hey, either you cleaning something or you getting out of the house so you ain't got to clean nothing. You know, let me go.
Exactly. Like, I got to go play down the street. It take you back to that time of like a better time. Like you ain't paying bills. You ain't got a car note. You ain't got to go to work. Like it take you back to that time of just like, it's refreshing. Like and don't get me wrong, because the trash and all that's out right now, but it's a refreshing album. And it's just like, damn, like this album feels good. Like it's because, don't get me wrong, it's an R&B album at heart, but the cursing's not overwhelming. It's not women bashing. It's not drug cultured. It's not any of the nonsense we're too exposed to right now. Like it's music by two racially ambiguous grown men, but it's still music. Like it's good music. They are racially ambiguous. Like they can pass for everything.
Well, Bruno Mars is. I mean, Pac
can pass for anything, dude. Let's be honest. Like he can pass for anything. Like it's like, yeah, you could be a Samoan, I guess. Like, yeah, you do look black. Yeah, you Puerto Rican.
Is Pac mixed with? Was he mixed with
Filipino and black, right?
I think
so. Yeah,
I think Pac's he's got Asian within him. I couldn't tell you exactly what. So I ain't gonna get. I mean, times is hard right now. I mean, America's very sad. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Stay on the topic of music today. I'm not going there. I'm gonna leave that. I'm not touching that. I'm putting that right in the Dave Chappelle pile. I'm not touching that. I'm gonna stay right in this lane today. This is not the day. So, I mean, it comes to this, guys. Let's just call it what it is. Music as a whole, that's not on mine. Spotify sucks. There, I said it. Everybody else's stuff is trash. My stuff is dope because I got everything. I'm gonna tell you right now. I listened to that album twice. I'm gonna be honest with you. My favorite song on that whole album has Thundercat on it, and I've been listening to Thundercat for 10 years. Y'all don't even know who Thundercat is. You just know he on a feature. Y'all don't even know. So I'm done. I'm done with that.
What's wrong with that? That was the after last
night.
The
best song on there got Thundercat on it. That's just my opinion. Thundercat on there on bass. So
I like that. That's probably
I don't even know the name of the track. I just know the number. It's number 4, and that song.
Yes. Goes. After last night, it do go. I like Skate.
Okay, I'll give you credit. I do like
you that good feeling, like you about to go to the skating rink.
You know, I'll give you Skate, yeah, because there was a time.
Man, Saturday night, your mom, take you to the skating rink. You get it in, man.
See me, I fall with Fly As Me, because Fly As Me kind of reminds me of like that Outcast, so fresh and so clean. Like Fly, that's what Fly As Me put me.
I mean, like I said, I do love it. I think from top to bottom, I think it is a very solid album. I'm not going to deny that. I think to the point that I wanted to have it, I actually knew I was going to, for once, I never get to play devil's advocate on this show. I always have to be the voice of reason with you two crazy people on my show. America, they do come off as humble and kind, But you got to understand something. They still have top 100 egos. So, you know, a guy that was ranked in the top 1,000 has to always come here and let them know. So, I mean, I knew I had to play devil's advocate today. And don't get me wrong, that album's going to win probably about 3 or 4 Grammys minimum.
Which is
I
all
have shot.
critical. They won a best group award, or they were in the best group award category. And I'm like, they just got together. How they
There's no other group really to compare
really
them.
like, what else? What else they gonna do? What's the group gonna be?
Who are you gonna compare them to?
I'm not sure, but it was just so funny. And I don't watch a lot of award shows. I think I might have caught that in passing, something on TV that particular night. And I was like, how the hell are they the best group and they just got together?
Because the best groups is like her and who was that? Her and YG. It's like 2 Chainz, Ariana Grande doing something.
Who's the Chinese boys that do R&B, like the Chinese kids?
BTS.
Yeah, like that's a group. That's who they're fighting against. Like,
you know, Taylor Swift might have did a song with Rihanna. Best R&B group. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know, Tyler the Creator in there with you know, who knows, man. Shout out Tyler the Creator, but you know what I'm saying, like, so.
Hey, album, that last album he had was dope.
It was, yeah, I gotta give him credit.
Flower Boys, I haven't listened to Igor all the way through, but I enjoyed Flower Boy. That came out, and I was late getting to that. It just took me a minute to get over to that, but you know, I think that was just listening to him on them Tiny Desk, man. You know, really done some good things for some people, for sure. But I mean, I'm exhausted, man. I mean, we can get to give me a minute because you know everybody got kids.
Damn,
and you know,
gotta go to work. So, America, allow me to go first with this. Give me a minute. So, America, give me a minute. I am a huge fan of the racially ambiguous duo of Silk Sonic. I am. But here's why that will not be album of the year. Because that European London woman has struck back again with bangers. All right. Listen, I don't buy albums. I got Apple streaming music. I pay $5 a month because I still use my college ID for it and my college email, and I pay $5 for Apple Music. I went and bought the Adele album, the Adele record at that, like the vinyl joint, because I wanted to hear the pure sound of it. There is, once again, Adele has an album where you don't have to skip a thing. Adele gonna make you happy. She gonna make you cry. She gonna make you hate men. She gonna make you love men again. She gonna make you want to go in the kitchen and cook. She gonna make you want to go just drive to the rims and just look out over the stars. She don't miss. And once again, she has not missed. So if you got a good, because Adele, I think she got like 14 tracks on there. If you got a little time on your hands and you got some time to go through every last range of emotions that you didn't know you had, go pick up 30. She ain't got to have no.
Does she have one happy song on the album? I don't know. I didn't listen to it. I know she makes bad music, so
she has.
I don't like being sad. You know what I'm saying?
She has. No, she got 2. She got 2.
Okay.
She got 2. But for the most part, you going through every other range of emotion. So we ain't got time to make up no fancy name like Views and Evening with Silk Sonic. The album called I'm 30. The album called 30. So go pick it up. You're going to love it. America, go pick up the Adele album. That's been my minute.
Hey, man. I mean, and we're going to really call it is. Shout out Rich Paul. I mean, this is called Spade. That's a good move.
Take it easy on me.
LeBron just keeps winning. Like LeBron's entourage,
just
like one of the coolest entourages of all time.
You know, he is winning in life. He is won in life.
Yes.
On the court is a different story.
That man is on his victory lap.
Yeah, well, you know, that's a conversation for a different day. That's already been declared over a while ago. I just want to give him, I just good for Rich Paul. You know what? That's all I'm going to say. I might get criticized for that, but Rich Paul, good for you. And Adele,
Take it easy on me, baby. Take it easy on me.
All right, babes. What's happening here? I'm gonna kick it to you. I don't even know what I'm gonna say yet. I wasn't ready for an Adele. Give me a minute. That was pretty good, man.
America, give me a minute. It is a sad, slightly sad day. I had a chance to watch the verses with two icons, two legends. One of my favorite singers of all time, Shaka Khan. Then you also have Stephanie Mills, who is a songstress as well. And I'm just disappointed at the entire performance or production. I felt as though Swiss Beats and Timbaland did not properly prepare our queens for that setting. Shout out to Stephanie Mills. She had to hold it down with Shaka Khan because Shaka Khan was not on her game.
Shaka Khan, 143 years old.
It looked like she may have had a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adult beverages prior to coming out. And you know what? The check was already signed, sealed, delivered as a celebration. How she performed will never impact the impact she had on music, Black culture. So it was definitely one where you can reminisce. As soon as they play them songs, the beat come on, you just start singing. But America, don't be too hard. Number one, don't come for Shaka. Well, I gotta come at you. Don't come for Shaka. That's number one. Number two, we just chalk it up as it wasn't the best performance, but they were able to celebrate their greatness. So, it is what it is. America, that's been my minute.
Well, he went ahead and went there.
Oh.
I mean, black, hey, as I like to call Black social media, I love saying Black Twitter. Black Twitter has not been kind to one of Chicago's finest. I still love you, Shaka. You will always be our one.
I do too.
All right. Well, I thought I was going to go here and just give me a minute. I was going to list all these artists that are dope, but I just don't really have that type of energy. So I'm just going to make this one up for America so we can get on out of here. So, America, as I take a sip of the delicious Stella Rosa behind it. Bear with me. This should be a nice gulp. America, give me a minute. So I will stay on topic with my plea to America. And I think basically where we're coming to is you have Bays, getting excited to see the old school, but realizing that the old school is really old. And Chris Turner letting us know, you know what, there is soul, and soul knows no color. I'm going to make a request for what I think can bring this thing full circle. And I've mentioned this, people have heard me talk about this drunk 1,000 times, and I'm going to say it again. There's one thing that is missing. And I think if you add this element back to music, we get the full sounds of all we needed. I mean, you're looking at, TBM right here, 3 black men, Chocolate Pudding, Darrell Huntington, and Larry Smoother. We are missing R&B male and female groups in music.
I like it.
Ever since Beyonce said the group ends and it ends now. There has not been a viable group outside of Danity Kane. And he is notorious for what he does. He blew that bitch up immediately.
You said Danity Kane reference? Jesus.
I mean, shout out Danity Kane because, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a part of our culture. And they had some jams and and them girls could sing and they could dance. They were talented. I mean, we watched them. We watched them practice and go through life every day. You know what I'm saying? But that's the truth of it, America. You know it and I know it. And I have been saying this years. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't blame Beyonce for this. Because if I was Beyonce Knowles, I'd have got out right when I got out. Because Aaliyah was gone, and somebody had to step in and get that money. Good for you. Okay? We needed Beyonce to step into that role. But that's what's missing. You guys know it and I know it. Come on, man. Chris Turner's talking about hearing that music. You know what I'm saying? Early 90s. You know, that's what your moms and your pops, you know, and everything. And you know what we was hearing at the same time? The Jodeci's, Boys to Men's, the SWVs, the Brownstones, the Guys. You know what I'm saying? You creep a little bit up later. Total, Escape.
Kissing you. That's my shit.
I mean, they were everywhere. Portrait had a jam. Playa, Mister. Shout out Bobby Valentino when he was in the group. I mean, they all had platinum records. Moke and Steph. There was a group called Cleopatra. I'm just saying. The era of groups, look what it did for the individual artists that had to go, man, I mean, that's like they quadruple teaming me, man. It's 4-on-1. It makes the Mary J. Blige's pop. You know, it's what made the Janet Jacksons pop. You know what I mean? All these great artists that we had in the 90s, you know. That's how you can get a Boys to Men, you know what I'm saying? You can get an Aaron Hall that goes, you know what, I appreciated Teddy Riley. I'm gonna move on and do my own thing and have some albums, you know what I'm saying? And Teddy Riley goes, you know what? I'm just gonna start Blackstreet. There is nobody on this conversation that did not have that another level album. First of all, that was one of the coolest looking CD covers of all time. That little black little thing. And they came in talking about, ooh, this is how we roll. All I'm saying, America, if we get back, if our record producers get back to putting this talent together, we can start a revolution and we can find some stars again, and then we can just go through it again. So America, that is my. I guess you got to shout out B2S because they're like, well, nobody else is here, so we might as well just do this. You know what I mean? So that's what we need. We need R&B groups. You know what I'm saying? You got Nicole Scherzinger still writing songs with Pussycat Dolls. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. And I love Nicole Scherzinger.
They still performing?
I hope
I didn't know they were
still getting money. She's still writing songs. Shout out Nicole Scherzinger, by the way. Like, shout out. You know, but
get your money.
So once again, I say American R&B groups. That's what's missing in music. We get them back. We all get the love for the music. America, that's my thing.
I feel like we need an R&B, like a straight R&B episode, just to let loose some of this.
We haven't done James Does the 90s. Like, we have so many episodes of that series. We haven't even invited Bays to the 90s episodes.
Yeah, we could use a 90s episode here soon, but America, that has been another.
Hold on, before you close it off, Bays. Basically, what the 90s is where Chris Turner will go research 3 or 4 songs from the 90s and tell me how gross the lyrics are, and I'll defend it.
They're terrible, dude. If you go back and genuinely listen to the lyrics of 90s R&B songs, you are a father. All right.
It's about the delivery. It's about the delivery
and approach.
Delivery.
So the delivery is when the song come on and says, "Man, I wonder if she could tell if I'm hard right now."
Well, hold on. I'm gonna give you listen to this one song.
He always goes to that every time.
Listen to Previous Cats by Music Soul Child. He is really flaming this girl.
I know.
Flaming it in such a melodic tone, and when you break down what he's saying, you're like, hold on. He is giving her the business in this song. He was like, first thing when he first starts the song off, he says, "Recognize who was with you now." But he's singing, I'm like, oh, music is giving her the business.
Exactly. And then it morphed into, Chris Brown, in his first record going, "Let me talk to you, tell it how it is." And, he was 15 years old. And he was talking like that. And I love Chris Brown. And I was like, dude, we should all sing this stuff. I hate to bring up old wounds, America, but I'm just saying the music doesn't last.
America, the 90s episode is coming sooner than later. It's been another fantastic episode with TBM, 3 Black Men, which is the new R&B group that you need to look out for. I am Chocolate Pudding. That is the R&B sensation, Darrell Huntington, and the illustrious, soulful Larry Smoother. And this has been another great episode of What's Good America. Make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. I still ain't figured out what I'm supposed to do on Twitch, but I'm gonna figure it out eventually. Either way around, I might just get on Twitch. You just might see me like producing the shows. But make sure you check us out on every possible way. And the same way I ended the night is the same way I ended all the time I can. And Walt, how is that?
Do. What's good, America? I do it R&B style.
Jesus Christ.
I know that was terrible. I'm sorry, America. That was bad. That was bad. I didn't warm it up, America.
Stick to the drums, sir.
Stick to the drums.
Hey, we still going platinum, and we out.